All right, today we are diving deep into the world of Jaglavak 1963. Now, this is a universe built on this really powerful, really unique vision of an Afrofuturist future. It's a story that gives us two completely different worlds, one out in the cold, dark of space, and the other right down on the vibrant streets of Earth. And we're going to break down how they work, and more importantly, how they connect.
So the entire universe of Jaglavak 1963 really hinges on this incredible contrast. On one side, you've got this high-tech, corporate-controlled cosmos where pilots are literally physically wired into their ships, and on the other, you have these radically creative, self-sufficient communities on Earth building an entirely new world out of society's trash.
Okay, so first up, let's explore that corporate cosmos. This whole starfaring side of the universe is pretty much dominated by one single, all-powerful entity, the Galactic Communication Company, or GCC. Now, at the very heart of this corporate universe are the pilots, like our protagonist, Bios. They're known as Alate drones, but these aren't just your average spaceship drivers, okay? These guys are genetically autonomous pilots whose minds are literally fused with their ships through some seriously advanced tech, and they do it all at the command of their queen.
And how are they controlled? Well, this is where it gets really wild. They're bound by something called a novation contract. It uses a piece of tech called the Tesseract that lets a queen get right inside the pilot's head, sending directives that actually feel like they're the pilot's own thoughts. I mean, talk about micromanagement, right? It completely erases the line between duty and a drone's own free will.
And the way this control is enforced is just staggering. It's so visceral. The contract isn't just some piece of paper you sign, no, it's physically tattooed onto the pilot's skull with an ink made from their own blood and their queen's. It creates this literal bioorganic bond to the company. And that level of control, it doesn't just stop with the pilot. It even extends to who their friends are. The Martha Companion Pod is a standard issue AI companion on all GCC ships. It's basically a manufactured, standardized friendship designed from the ground up to serve the company's needs.
Okay, so let's just do a complete 180 here. We are leaving the cold, sterile world of corporate space and heading down to the vibrant creativity on Earth. This is what's called the alchemy of the streets, and it's where the Afrofuturist heart of this story really starts to beat.
Down on Earth, we find these incredible community projects called Deho Gardens. They were started by a group known, amazingly, as the Haters, and these hubs are built in abandoned lots, transforming what the rest of society just throws away into real, tangible community wealth.
And their method? It's basically a powerful blueprint for urban alchemy. It's brilliant. First, they reclaim forgotten spaces. Then, they repurpose literally everything. From that, they generate their own power. And finally, they create entirely new, self-sustaining local economies. It's a perfect example of a circular economy in action.
And the way they do this is it's genius, really. They make roofs out of old quilted winter coats and then use the stuffing inside to filter rainwater. Old city buses, they become workshops or maker spaces. Grocery store checkout aisles get turned into vegetable gardens. They even have pedal bars where people can hang out and generate electricity at the same time. This ingenuity isn't just in how they build things either. It's baked right into their economy. Their system is built on mutual aid, not charity. It empowers people by having them collect trash to earn participation tokens and a local currency called glitter. And they use that to buy whatever they need, from a hot meal to custom-painted shoes, all by cleaning up their own neighborhood.
And if you're thinking this is just some small-time project, think again. Their success is absolutely staggering. Das Hogarden No. 3, which was built in an old shopping plaza parking lot, was eventually sold as a literal work of art for about $500 million. That's turning trash into treasure on a scale that's almost impossible to imagine.
So the big question is, how do these two completely opposite realities even connect? I mean, the corporate cosmos and the community street feel worlds apart, but they are actually deeply intertwined.
Well, the bridge between these worlds is this specific cultural role, the inkusatsa. Think of them as specially trained agents, mediators who have to translate between the bio-linked Alate drone, their queen, and the corporate interests of the GCC. They're these essential cultural and technical go-betweens, navigating all these incredibly complex relationships.
You can see this intersection in their technology too. It's a perfect mirror. On one hand, you've got the GCC mass-producing these sophisticated companion AIs, and on the other, you have the children of Deho Gardens building and selling their own smartphones, earning enough money to buy their families' new homes. It's a fantastic contrast between top-down corporate control and bottom-up community innovation.
So you might be wondering, why does this world feel so deep, so textured, so real? Well, there's a really cool reason for that. It's because it was designed from the beginning to be more than just a story. It's an entire imagined nation, meant to be lived in.
Turns out, this whole narrative is actually a massive multi-platform role-playing game. It exists as a pen and paper RPG, but there are also video game and live-action versions. And that explains the incredible depth of the world building, right? It has to be robust enough for players to actively participate in it and even shape its future.
And that really leaves us with this one final big idea to chew on. The story's contrast between corporate overreach and radical community resilience kind of forces us to ask a question about our own world. In a future that feels more and more dominated by huge corporations, is the most powerful act of rebellion simply to build your own world from the ground up?